NX CAD software training. Today we are going to see about curve from curves, in which we are going to see three options today: offset curve, mirror curve, and derived lines. These three options we will see today. Into the menu, insert curve from curves. Here offset curve is there. Okay, so now the offset curve can be created for any profile, even it may be a closed profile, or else it can be a single line also. Now I'm creating a single line now from here to here. Already I switched off this continuous auto dimension, so that only this continuous auto dimension not producing any new dimensions here. Okay, when you are getting into the sketch, always you just switch off this continuous auto dimension by clicking on that, so that it will not get generated. Okay, now we have a line. I wanted to create a offset curve, so now I'm going for offset curve option. Now I'm selecting the line which one I wanted to offset. This is the line which I wanted to offset. For the distance of 10 means you can, whatever the distance you wanted to give, you can give. So now it is already 10. Suppose I wanted to change it into 15 means I will change it into 15. You can enter here, so that now you are seeing the preview. So here this is enough means I can go for apply button. See, so this has got created, but the parent curve become as a reference. Why it has changed into reference means, in the bottom you can see that there is a settings called convert input curves to reference. Because of this reason only the parent curve got changed into reference. Suppose this button is switched off means, then the parent curve won't become reference. For example, I will create one more line here. Now I have created a new line. For this line I am going to create a offset curve. So here we will go offset curve. So now I am making sure that this button is in the switched off condition. Come down in the settings button, convert input curves to reference. Input curve means the parent curve, whatever you select, that is called input curves. So now I am at the first face itself, I am turning off this button, so that the curve what I select as the input curve, that will not become reference, similar to this. Okay, right. So now I am selecting the select curve option. I am selecting it. Now the distance whatever I wanted to give, I can give it 25 mm. Yes, this is fine. I am going for apply. So now you can see both the curves are remains in the active manner only, and it creates a dimension. It creates a line at a distance of 25 mm. This is what offset curve. Okay, but we will go in depth now. So hope you understand this option. So whatever the line you select, that is what your parent, and then that line is getting offsetted over here. And the parent curve whatever you are selecting, if you want to make that as a reference, then you can turn on this button. If you do not want, you will turn off this button, so that it will get produced like this. Okay, now we'll move on to the other one. Now I will delete these two lines. I will create one more line, new line. So now I am going to create one horizontal line like this. Okay, now I am going for the offset curve option. So here we go. So in the offset curve option, I have a distance of 25 mm. So there is an option called create dimension. Okay, let it be. Now I am selecting this line. I wanted to offset it like this. So this is going towards the down direction. Suppose I wanted to reverse it, you can reverse it like this also. Okay, whichever the direction you want, you can reverse it at any time, no problem. And what is this option? Create dimension. The create dimension means when we are doing offset, the line whatever we select, so from here to here, whatever the distance it is given, it will create one expression along with the dimension. So you see now, create dimension I am giving apply. So here we go. Now you can see here, I have created an offset line, but along with the expression also, expression with the dimension. So P16 equal to 25, like it has created. Now suppose if I want to change this distance also, if you change it into 30, this expression also will get changed. P16 equal to 30 it will become. Okay, you can double click and you can change it at any point of time, this dimension whatever you want. So like this, the expression based also it will get created. Suppose this is our requirement actually. If you want like this, you can go for it. Otherwise you can keep this in the switched off condition. This dimension you can turn off at any point of time, and that will not produce any expressions over here. It will produce only the lines. Okay, right. So we'll say again one more time. So now we are going for the other option. We have one more option here. Now I am going for offset curve. Okay, now there is an option called a symmetric offset. That is what we are going to see now. So the symmetric offset means it's very simple. Suppose I have a line like this. Okay, so in this line, so now we have seen only in one direction the offset is happening. Now we are going to see in both the directions. Offset curve I'm going. So the parent curve got changed, and it is not going to change it as a reference because of I turned off this button. So this will become a parent curve only. It won't become reference. Okay. Symmetric offset I am making, and along with the dimension also I am making. So now I am selecting this line means both the sides. Here also it will go for 25 mm. Here also it will go for 25 mm. So two lines additionally will create in both sides. Now I am selecting it. So this is also 25 mm. From this is also 25 mm. Now I am applying it. You can see now. Okay. See here. You can see here the dimensions between these two. So this is also 25 mm. This is also 25 mm. Okay, why this has got changed into P17 equal to P16 means because of this is expression based one. So whatever the dimension we are changing it, since it's a symmetric, by default it will get associated according to the dimension expressions. This is called associativity. Parametric means the parametric and associativity we'll discuss in a separate topic, but as of now we'll tell you shortly. Parametric means the software itself a parametric. So when whatever the within the sketch whatever you create, everything is a parametric only. Associative means whatever the based on the design intent the expressions should be linked. That is what associativity. So here the symmetric means both the sides you should take the same dimension. Whatever the dimension I apply, it should take in both the direction. That is what associativity. So in that case, the P16, whatever the value it got changed here, that should apply to here also. So that is why the system itself automatically associated this expression to this expression. Okay, hope you understand. I will change this dimension now. You can see now. Now I am changing it to 35. So here also the same gap will be maintained here. See now. So here also it got changed into 35. Here also it got changed into 35. This is how this symmetric button will work. Suppose I have closed the entity now like this. For example, I'm making some triangle like profile. I have created like this. Okay, so now I wanted to offset this curve means in the symmetric manner. You can go for it, no issues. So whatever it may be, whether it may be close to profile or else open profile, whatever it is, we can go for it. So now I'm going to select this curve, select this. That's it. So since the connected curves is turned on, everything got selected in a single time. Suppose this connected curve is in the switched off condition, it won't select in a single stroke. I will select again, offset curve I'm going. So now connected curves is on. If you select here, everything will get selected in a single stroke actually. Suppose here I'm going again to make you understand again one more time. Suppose here it is a single curve means it won't select in a single time all the curves. Single means only one curve only will get generated. Then you have to select it. Then you have to select it. Select it. Select it. Okay, like this you have to select it. Instead of that, if you go for the connected curves option means whatever the lines it is attached to each other, continue to each other. So if you select any one entity, by default it will make a closed loop and it will generate the symmetric offset. Okay, right. So here also we want the create a dimension I want it, and I want a symmetric offset, and everything I need means we can go for it. Suppose the parent one I wanted to make it as a reference means you can turn on this button, so that will make that offset curve to be reference. Okay, here you can see now this dimension also got selected, generated here. Okay, P18 equal to 25, this has got associated to this P19. So this is how this offset curve will work. Okay, all right. Let's see about one more option in the offset curve. So now I have created a line. Okay, so continuous auto dimension I have turned off it already. That's why it's not producing. Okay, now we are going for offset curve option. Here you can see one more button called number of copies. So this is what the option we are going to see now. The number of copies means the number of times the line have to be copied. That is what the number of copies. Now I am turning off this symmetric offset button because I do not want to do symmetrically. I wanted to do one direction. Okay, offset curve I have selected. Now I'm going to select the curve. Okay, I selected it. I want to do it in a reverse side. Okay, done. Okay, the selection of the direction is done. Then the distance what I want 15 mm gap between each other. Okay, only one time I need means, like if I give apply, only one time only it will come. So now I wanted to create a 5 lines consecutively. Okay, so each and every line should be at a distance of 15 mm. So in such a cases, how many number of copies we want, we can select it. Suppose we want 5 lines to be get generated means, you can give 5, then you can give apply. See here, now you have produced all the dimensions as it is. All are expression based because of this is purely a associated command. Okay, offset curve is a purely associated command when you are selecting the create dimension option. Okay, so this p24 equal to 15, the same expression got linked to here, 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 everywhere. So each and every line will have a distance of 15 mm each other from each other, but from the base it will have a distance of this much. Okay, so this is how this offset curve option, multiple copies you can go for it. Okay, this completes our offset curve option. Let's move on to the other one. So we are going to see the other option called derived lines. Derived line is especially used to only for the lines. Derived line is similar to offset curve, but it is applicable only to the lines. For example, I have created one line here. I am going for a derived line option. Okay, this derived line is option is also present in the curve from curves only. Okay, curve from curves, derived lines. Now I am selecting this line, whatever the wherever I need, I can just click on this like wherever I want. Suppose I want it in the opposite direction, I can click it based on my mouse button 1. Suppose I want very closely, I am not giving any dimension now, I'm just clicking it based on my mouse point actually. So this is how I'm creating. Okay, all right. Suppose I am going for the different dimension. I wanted to create it in a proper dimensional based derived curves means no problem. I can go for it. Now derived lines. I am selecting this line. Now whatever the distance, suppose I am selecting towards this direction, you are giving in a minus value. Suppose you are going in the opposite direction, you have to give in the plus value. So now I am going in the opposite direction, minus 40. 50 I'm giving. Okay, let us consider minus 50. So this is the dimension and got selected now, created now. So in the opposite side I'm going means I'm going to create for 100 mm, I can give 100 mm. Now I'm going for 200 mm. From this line it is 200 mm. Okay, from this line this is 200 mm, it got created 200 and 100. Okay, it got added now. Okay, no problem. Suppose this is my line which I got created now. I wanted to create a line from this one means derived lines, you can go here. I wanted to create a line for a distance of 200 means you can go for 200. So whatever the distance you want, you can go for it. Okay, this is how this derived line will work. Now I will delete it. I wanted to show you one more case here, one more option here. Okay, right. So now I am going for one circle. Okay, for this circle, whether I can able to go for a derived lines, just we will select it. You can see now what's happening. Can you able to select it? No, we cannot select it. Select a reference line only. You can see in the queue line. Please make a note of it. Select a reference line only. It is asking. It is not for asking any entity or else any object. Okay, it says very clearly that select a reference line. In the queue status line, you can see here in the bottom left. Okay, so it is asking for select a reference line. So it will ask only a reference line. Whenever you go for derived lines, it is considered only for the lines, not for the circle or arc. It will not at all do. Okay, don't get confused here. Offset curve will do for everything. It will work for all the lines, entities and everything, but this derived lines will work only for the lines, not for any closed profile or else not for any other profile other than lines. Okay, so this is the difference. Let's see about mirror curve option. So the mirror curve option is present over here. Otherwise, if you want to go from the menu bar, you can go for curve from curves option. Over here, you can find a mirror curve option. Okay, so now I will create a small profile over here to make you understand very clearly. I'm just creating these lines. Okay, now I created this. I'm going for mirror option. I'm going to mirror this right angle triangle in the opposite side. Okay, right, mirror curve I'm going. So curve to mirror, which curve I wanted to do mirror, that you can select it first. So this is the lines, I am going to mirror it. Okay, I got selected now. So with reference to which center line I am going to mirror it. Either you should have a center line, or else even you can use the axis also, no problem. So now I am going for the select center line. With reference to what I am going to mirror it. So the center line I have to select it. Now I am selecting this axis itself as my reference. So I am selecting this so that it got mirrored now. You can give apply now. So once it got mirrored, you can see that the symbol itself will represent that this is created from the mirror. So this is how we can understand that, okay, this is the parent, this is the child, like you can understand from this symbol itself. So which curve got mirrored, that there only you can find this symbol. Okay, this is a symbol which represents, it belongs to mirror constraint. Okay, all right. So now I am doing undo. Okay, right. So now I'm going for the same option one more time, and I'm going to mirror it in another way. I'm going to create one small circle here as well, just to see that. Please follow me. I have created a right angle triangle and I have created one circle also. Okay, everything is done. I wanted to have this line and this circle. All three entities I wanted to bring it in the opposite side, and the middle line, it is a neutral line. That means it's a center line like I am considering. So in that case, you no need to create a one more time here. So what you can do, you can go for the mirror option, mirror curve. I am going to select which are all the curves I wanted to mirror it. First I am going to select it. So these two lines along with this center line, along this circle, I wanted to select it. So all these three entities I got selected. Now with reference to this middle, I wanted to mirror it. So I am considering this line must be a center line. So now I created as a single profile. So even though it is a original line, active line, I wanted to convert this into reference line. That means center line. Okay. So to convert it into reference line, this button, if you turn it on, if this button is turned on, that is in the checked condition, means this line will become reference line and it will produce the mirror now. So this button is turned on now. I am selecting this line and I am giving apply. You can see now. So these three entities, the two lines and a circle got mirrored here. You can see the symbol also over here. Okay, so this is done, and the middle line also got changed into reference line. So why means because of we asked the center line to be converted into reference. That's why this line has got changed into reference. Otherwise, this won't get changed. Now I will do undo again. I will explain you one more time. Okay, now we have a right angle triangle, I have a circle. So this center line, this is the center line. With reference to this only, I'm going to mirror it. I do not want this line to be converted into reference like as past. I wanted to keep that line as it is, means I do not want to convert it into reference line, means just to switch off this button, select the line, which are all the things we wanted to convert it into mirror. So these three lines I wanted to take a mirror. With reference to this line, I wanted to mirror it. Okay, but whether we need this line to be converted into reference, no, I do not want. So that only I switched off this button. So now I'm selecting this line. You can give apply. You can see now the complete triangle along with the circle got mirrored here. Okay, so this symbol represents this is produced from the mirror. Okay. Suppose if there is any change in this diameter, will this change? Yes, certainly that should change. That is what the concept of mirror. So that is why we are using the mirror option. Now I'm changing this into diameter 12. Okay. So this has got updated now. Suppose this distance is 11.5. I wanted to change it into 15. Okay. It got changed now. Okay. Right. Suppose this vertical distance is 60.9. I wanted to change that into 80, means you can change it. So whatever the dimension getting changed, automatically in the opposite side also, in the mirrored curve also, it is getting updated. This is how the mirror curve will work. Hope you understand today's session. If you are not subscribed till now, please subscribe to the channel and keep following me. So let's see in the next class. Thank you.